Yo, it's Sway.
Sway.
Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
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 Only on Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Yeah. Bitches.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45, 43 minutes into the hour. Luke Perry has joined us. He's the star of the movie Good Night for Justice, Queen of Hearts, premiering. The sequel is this Saturday night on the Hallmark Movie Channel, right?
Yep.
Interesting. It's an interesting series. I want to encourage you guys to see, especially if you're a history buff like me. Puts us in a time in American history that we don't often see anymore. Because, the Westerns don't seem to do that well.
No, it's funny. We have cycles in this country, where we celebrate the West and our history, and we'll look back at our history sometimes, and then we jump to the future. It's like Woody and Buzz in Toy Story. It's that whole cycle over and over again, right? I'm always looking more for the Woody kind of stories, but Hollywood's all into Buzz. They want everything to be bigger, higher tech, CGI, 3D. I just like good old, simple, plain Westerns, man. I always did.
Yeah, the shooters, good, the bad, the ugly.
The good, the bad. I love them Leone pictures, man.
I love all those pictures. You guys make sure you check this out with Luke Perry. Just real quick, man, you got a daughter, 13 years old. And I was asking you, have you ever allowed her to see you naked?
Not since she was a very little girl. Really, really little.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I haven't. It hasn't come up. It hasn't been like that accidentally. Oh, she walked in on me kind of a thing. When the kids are in the house, you always try to be conscious of it and keep the doors closed and stuff like that. So it hasn't happened for me. Thank God.
Yeah, man. That's horrible. That's one of my biggest thoughts. Now my daughter don't want to have nothing to do with me. Like I'm dad, so you get to be uncool.
We all get that at some point. You're just dad. You're not cool anymore.
No, I'm not cool.
Me neither.
Okay. So you never had have you had the sex talk with her?
Not with her. No, I have talked with my son.
Okay.
But I think she's still a little young for it. But at the same time, I feel like these are conversations that are occurring earlier and earlier in society because children are having to deal with these issues earlier and earlier. So I'm preparing to have that talk.
You're preparing to have that. What advice would you give them, Heather B? Because at 13, my daughter and I had that talk at 10 and 11.
I was going to say, I don't think it's too young. I'm really close with my dad. And the one thing, as a grown woman still being close, I just love his honesty. He just told me the absolute truth. I kind of like Sway said about his daughter. I would ask, and he just told me the truth.
See, I think, Sway, you mentioned earlier about our kids being intelligent and being smarter than we are. Yeah. Taking a page out of your book, I say you give them the true information, you give them the honest information, and trust that they're going to make the right choices around it. But I would be doing her a disservice if I wasn't honest.
Yeah.
So I have to be honest about it.
Gotta be honest about it. Kids are talking about it at age. Yeah.
Do your kids know, I don't know if you recall this this conversation. You probably don't, but back in the day, I always bring this up, and these guys hate when I bring this up. I got a track placed on Beverly Hills 90210. And it was, I don't know what episode. I used to rap.
Yeah.
And they put it in an episode. And I remember getting paid publishing checks for about 8 to 9 years because that show was so popular.
We had a few folks who really liked us for that.
Thank you, Luke, man. That's why I'm here, man.
Dude,
it's because of you.
Happy to do it. And the man you want to thank is a man named Ken Miller. He was the man who provided us with all the tunes, and he was always out there looking for the hot, cool, great stuff that we could have on the show, and he plugged you in. Damn.
Ken, you're the man. You're the man. Do your kids, do they understand your celebrity, or do they just not care?
They're not that interested in it. They understand it because I had to explain to them why people are taking my picture, why people are coming up to us in restaurants and stuff. So they understand that part of it. They're not interested.
They don't give a damn. It's like you never did nothing with your life.
Exactly. It just takes time. They're like, really? Move on. He's just my dad.
Yeah, and it's taking up my time.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I tell him the dark side of 90210 though?
What's the dark side? The 90210.
Dude,
yes.
Wait a minute. We had Shaft on that. Don't tell me we didn't have the dark side. We had Richard Roundtree on that
side.
show.
Okay, so we just got finished taping the last episode of Real World. We were all excited. We were happy. We got $2,600. This is the first time I'm saying this, to do the entire season. $2,600 to do the entire season. We start seeing commercials. 90210, and the money they got, man, I was hating on your show for like a whole year, but then I just had to give it up to you, Luke. I love you, but coming from Real World, I was mad at you.
Well, if it's any consolation, and I know it'll be a small one, we liked your dialogue better. We thought you guys had better stuff to say,
All
better
right,
stuff
thank you.
going
Well,
on.
Cut me a check.
Take
Thank you.
the money.
I
Take
have
the
a
money,
question for
run
you.
with it, and I got an answer, I hope.
I read somewhere that you had to do 250 auditions before you got your first gig.
256.
Wow. How does one's ego get patched up after all of that?
I just kept thinking, I just walked out of a room full of fools. Those people have no idea. They have no idea. And you got to keep telling yourself that because, you got to get back in the room. It's like getting on a horse. You fall off, you got to keep getting back on. But I just kept thinking, I was really starting to get quite a bit of an attitude at the end. And so I would, let's say audition 250. I just walked in, I'm going, I know you're going to say no. Just say it quickly so I can get to the next place. I knew everybody was going to turn me down, so I was starting to kind of get pissed off about it. And when I came in not expecting anything other than to be asked to leave, they sort of took notice of that, and it changed the nature of the work I was doing. I wasn't going in trying to be the guy they wanted. I said, here's what I do, and if you want this, you call me. If you don't want this, you call somebody else, and I'm out. And that enabled me to have the confidence to go in, and it allowed me to feel like I was doing my work. I wasn't trying to serve whatever idea they thought it was, and that's how I got 90210, and that's what Aaron responded to. Was I wasn't trying to do it like everybody else. I just said, this is what I do. Yes, no, I don't care.
And you were what the Fonz was to Happy Days.
Yep.
You were to 90210.
That he's one of my buds.
Yeah.
You know that Henry.
Okay. Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler is one of my buds. We talked. We're gonna get together when I get back home, because I grew up idolizing him, man.
Wow.
Hey.
Yo, Popsy. Hey.
Oh, dude, it just blew my mind. And then when you meet Henry and you spend 5 minutes with him, and he's the nicest man in the world, you're never disappointed.
Tell him he has a fan over here.
Oh, for sure. You know what? Last time I saw Henry was here at Sirius.
He doesn't come by this show, but
He
can
will
you,
next
can you
time.
talk to
I'm
him?
going to make him come
All
on next time for sure.
Now, this one I want to ask you. I remember this show, The Heights. Remember that?
I do.
In
That
that
was a
band?
spin-off. Jamie Walters went off, had the #1 song on
Yeah.
that.
And the lead singer, I felt like, and it was said that he was based on what you did for 90210. Did you get that at all?
No.
Your style? No?
No, but it's funny because I had known Jamie a long time when we were both here acting in New York, and you'd show up for commercials and stuff. I auditioned against Jamie Walters 100 times.
Okay.
I knew him. We were always going up for the same stuff. So I can imagine that's what they were hoping, because like TV producers are like, this works.
Yeah.
Let's dress somebody else like that and
Yeah.
put them on another show, and that will work. And they didn't enjoy the same caliber of success that we were fortunate enough to have. But I saw Jamie not too long ago. Ran into him.
He's not cracked out or nothing, right?
Brother ain't crack. No, he's a fireman right there in the valley.
Is he really?
Right.
In our neighborhood?
Right in the neighborhood. Jamie was driving a great big fire truck.
Wow.
And he's doing something legitimate with his life.
Tell him, man.
Yeah.
That's good for him, man. All right.
Dope.
Well, Luke Perry, man, it's always a pleasure, man. You guys make sure you tune in. Good Night for Justice, Queen of Hearts this Saturday on the Hallmark Movie Channel. All right, man. Next time you come in New York, you're going to come by and see
For
us.
sure. And so's Henry Winkler, man.
All right. Have you promised?
Dude, I'm sending you the Fonz. You got
Okay.
that? You heard that right here.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.